that the bathroom is bad. In fact, I think I've done a really good job of utilizing the space to create something that's very reflective of me, even though I'm in a rental. However, the light situation is definitely not something I'm loving. So, let me show you what I'm talking about. The only light is this one. Yeah, not pretty. And in the summertime, not a big deal, because I have this. I have this nice window that lets in south facing light, and it's actually a lot of really nice natural light, which I'm grateful for because I got to have my plants. I got to. This section of the world has very little light. There is a light behind this mirror. It's a, backlit mirror, but it's very orange. It's flesh, which I don't know anybody's flesh that's that color. Okay, so my plan to do something different in here is to hang a light in that blank right there, and to add some light here somehow. I don't think I can utilize that blank very well, but I can do something to add some soft diffused light here. And maybe do something here in the window to create a little bit more of a vibe. And what are we calling this? The theme of this is that you can make some relatively small changes and have some pretty big impact and some style impact that you're happy with. So, and my goal is to spend no money. None. $0. So let's see what I can do, starting with adding light up here, and we'll go from there. Okay, first order of business is this absolutely beautiful brass and glass pendant that I got off my local Buy Nothing. And the minute I saw it, I knew. I said, oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. So I'm going to put that up there in that blank and fill this area with light. And because this is down-facing pendant, it'll be great for putting on makeup, brushing teeth, getting ready, especially in the winter months when I'm not getting as much light through this window. The top of this cabinet is giving me an opportunity to add some light in here. I'm not really going to be able to get it to shine down. It's not very tall. That's probably like 2 feet. And I also have this real hatred of looking up under a lampshade and seeing the light bulb. So I'm not going to do that. But I do have a solution. My solution is this beauty right here. This is real alabaster stone that has been hollowed out. It's really pretty. It's also really heavy. But unlike glass mimicking alabaster, this is going to diffuse light beautifully, and it's going to add a little bit of extra diffused light for the plants as well. So I'm going to get that up here. I have run an extension cord because the outlet is kind of far away, and this is turned off and on with this switch, which will make it really easy for me to operate it here at the sink. So that is going to go up there. Okay, so lights are looking awesome, and the last couple of things I want to do is bring these. Aren't these cute? See that they're little brass butterflies. They're really old. I'm going to put those up and fill that space. Wow, from this angle, that looks really big. And then I've got this open space above the window that I want to do something with. And I think these are going to be the right answer for that. I think those look really cute. I don't really think that the pictures are as important as the color and texture. So I'm going to put those up. Do something with this empty windowsill. I'm not quite sure what to do yet, but I'll think of something. And then that's it for the bathroom. Okay, I love how they look. I love the little additional sparkle. And to finish off this window, I have this really pretty piece here of, well, it's hand blown glass. It's what's called confetti glass. You can see the punt there. It's not really great. So this was probably I don't know, maybe a craft piece. And whoever had it made this lovely copper hanger for it. And I've put a nail in, and I'm going to just hang it here in the window. And it looks so pretty with the light coming through it. Okay, so into my pretty, gonna put in some water. Yep. And put in a couple of little plants, then they will do a good job of rooting in here. And when they get to be rooty, then I transplant them. But look how pretty that is with the light coming through it. Oh, I like it very much. Yes. With the art finishing the window, since I don't really have a window treatment. I think this side looks a little bare. I'm going to hang my little moss garden over here. Isn't that pretty? Look, I don't know if you can see it with the light shining on. See, it's just all these different mosses on a little tiny stone mushroom. But it'll hang. Okay, so let's turn on the lights and see what we think. Oh my stars. I love it. I love it. Wow. The window looks so nice and finished with a little bit more around it instead of just that weird frame. And then over on this side we've got, yes, oh, I'm so happy. Look how pretty that is. It not only will give the plant up there just a little boost of light, but the way that it shines off of the Buddha face, it's very serene. This room feels like it's loved. I really, really, really like it. Small, free changes make such a difference and so much impact. I love it. Okay. Here's another spot that needs just a little tiny upgrade, and it's going to be a spot I really love to utilize, and that's a finished project. And again, a little tiny change is going to make big impact. This space right here is where a wall mount air conditioner was, and it had already had this frame around it, and it was just seated in this little space next to the window. So that got taken out because that got put in. So what to do with this little empty space? Well, I'm going to fill it. I'm going to make a corkboard, put that in there, and then I'll have a little spot to pin things that I want to keep, like family photos and things like that. I'm not going to clutter it up with to-do lists and all of that. Those are all sequestered in the shop or the office. But this is going to be a neat little space for me to put affirmations, family photos, and things that I really love. So let's get started on that. I have a piece of black foam core that was from a different project. I only used half of it. So I'm going to finish using that. And I have some do-it-yourself cork roll. I got this at the thrift store, $7. It was on Monday, 50% off. So for $3.50, I have a good amount. I mean, look at how much is here. Way more than I need. So I am going to cut this to fit my little window. Then I'm going to just use some spray adhesive and put that on there, and we will fit it into the window. Okay, that is the perfect size. Let me cut some of this lovely cork and glue it on. Okay, got our cork on the board. We're going to use some construction adhesive. It's just really easy to use, and I'm going to put that dot and put a bit on here and then smoosh it in, and we'll see if I like how that looks. There, it's in. That's pretty solid. It needs to dry. However, I am not crazy about that edge. So I think I will go see if I have some jute that is a good, probably about that big around, I think would be fine to cover that. Might have to wait until I go to a hardware store or something to get some to finish it. But from back here, that is very, very nice. It's very useful. All right, there it is. I love it. It's finished, except that I do not have a piece of jute that's big enough to go through here. So a trip to the hardware store. But I love it. And to me, this is pretty much what I saw in my head. Tiny little change, utilizing mostly free stuff. And I now have a really nice top to my bookcase, and my little space here is finished. I like it. It's done. Okay, on to the next. This is a dream come true object for me. I've loved these since I was just a wee child. My mom's best friend had one in her office, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I would go in there and I would look at the tree clock. And I find them out and about, but this one really spoke to me. Usually they're very expensive. This one spoke to me. I really love the color. I love the live edge. I like this, where this little branch was saved and is part of what's going on. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I put a battery in. I know that the clock works. I'm not crazy about these hands, but I don't necessarily want to buy a new clock insert yet. But I hate these, and clearly And in checking to see if these were stuck or if they would come off, I was very happy to see that some of them lifted right off and came off really easily. And I thought, okay, I'll just do some prying and see if I can get these ones to come off easily. And then I had to decide what I wanted to use to create new numbers. And I knew I wanted to use stones. I've just gone through a whole bunch of different ones trying to find the right ones, and I think I have come across it. So let me show you what I've got. I went out and went through some of my beads, and I like this. I have 12 that are just this beautiful smooth pieces of Amazonite, and I really like them. Okay, those peeled off pretty easily, I have to say. I'm very happy with that. So this is what this looks like. If I'm using just the green, the Amazonite round, this is what it would look like from 12 to 3. This would be the distance between them. And one thing that I like is that these are large enough diameter. They're a 30 millimeter diameter bead. They've got this lovely organic, you see, where the wood rivs in like this. Well, it's gorgeous, but it makes it really hard to put anything on, and that's why they had the numbers glued way in here like this. Okay, you see that? Okay, so with bigger things and that are solid on the bottom, I can actually lay them over that like so and get a decent thing. I'm going to be using this Loctite Power Grab, and which I'm very fond of. It does such a good job. And this is what I've got as my layout. At first I was fussing over, this one has more of a matrix, this one has a little more pectolite, so it's got the white. I was fussing on that, and then I decided, you know what? Nope, that isn't going to be my concern. This is going to have some asymmetry to it in every facet and form of it, and that pleases my rebellious Aquarius heart very much. So now I glue down and we get it hung up. Okay, that's everything glued down. That's the gorgeousness of this. Oh, I'm so happy. And the beauty of Loctite, by the way, is that you can move things. So if this isn't exactly where I want it, look. And that is a big deal when you're trying to set something, especially if you're trying to make it symmetrical and you're getting frustrated that the minute you use your Crazy Glue or your Gorilla Glue, it's locked down. This kind of an adhesive, it's not really designed for crafting. It's actually a construction adhesive, but in construction a lot of times you have to make something around until it's in the place, and you will realize that you will let it a little too much, and then you got to get it back in the spot. So this stuff right here is amazing. The other great thing about my little dream come true here is that nothing makes me giddier giddier than when Spirit gives me things, gives me abundance, and it's so not just in my budget. I mean, we're talking extravagantly cheap. I can't even tell you how much abundance I have received through my lifetime for free, out of the trash, out of someone else's discards. Just find it on the side of the road. And this beautiful, beautiful clock I got at an estate sale clearance, and I paid 20 cents for it. This is a dream come true for 20 cents. I already had these beads because I'm a bead monger. I have a problem, I know. So I'm going to put a clean battery in there. I'm going to let these sit for a minute and really get firmly attached. Then I'm going to turn it over, put a clock battery in it, and I'm going to hang it, and we'll see how beautiful it looks up on the wall. So I have an idea. I have this old brass lamp base that I want to make something with this vintage, very heavy piece of ironstone so that it goes like so. I have this cork bung, and I'm going to put it in here. Now I can either pound it down so that it fits in there, but I think it would be smarter to just take a blade and trim this off right here so that it sits flush, and that will give me this much. See, this will give me all of this as surface area for glue instead of just this. So I'm going to trim that and see if this works. Okay, that's going to work perfectly. I took and just used a utility blade on that. That's pretty, can you tell that that's pretty even? Okay, so for some E6000 and a plate. Dun dun dun. Okay, I think that looks amazing. Now I'm using this one, which is amazing. So this should work just fine. Well, I want to let that dry overnight and check it in the morning and see how good, if it has Loctited.